So what is up guys, welcome back again to another autochess Moba video, and today we will gonna be talking about what are the physical items, specifically the last stages of the physical items, what are their effects and what are their benefits and building them. So let's just jump right into it. So here we are now on the game. So today we're gonna be talking about what are the effects of these items from Careless Speech up until Sacred Sword. Now first and foremost, we need to know two things. There are two types of items. So that will gonna be passive, meaning you don't have to press, you don't need to press that item in order for its effect to activate. And then second is the activated skills, or meaning you need to press that skill in order for its effect to be activated, or its special ability. So that's the two different types of items. So first and foremost, let's go to Careless Speech. Now you will know if it's unique passive or if it's activated by reading its description. So down below the armor penetration, you can see it says unique passive, meaning you don't need to press it. And also another thing that you can notice is activated items have this arrow thingy in their frames above the item. So like Bloodshed, it has this arrow gold arrow. Moonlight Flash, Breath of Blast, it has this arrow, so meaning they are activated items. So first is Careless Speech. So it will give you plus 25 bonus attack and plus 8 armor penetration. Armor penetration means is you deal more damage to enemies that has a higher shield or high health. I think that's the meaning. Or your damage will increase if the enemy also has a big armor. So that's armor penetration. Or you have a higher damage to enemies that has armor. That's it. So its unique passive is it will gonna give you a anti-healing effect, and also it will give you a physical resistance for 5 seconds. So anti-healing, meaning by the name itself, you will reduce the enemy's healing effect. So if they have heal items, you will gonna reduce the healing effect of that item, or if that healing item. And also their health will kind of grow back less than if you don't hit them with this Careless Speech. That's the effect of Careless Speech. It is good to item against heroes or enemies that have a strong healing effect onto their basic attack or into their skills. So go for Careless Speech if you want to anti that specific hero. So next up is we're gonna be talking about the Bloodbath Skull. So Bloodbath Skull will gonna give you plus 35 attack and plus 15% base attack lifesteal, meaning you will gain a life every time you hit the enemy with the basic attack, but it is only 15%. So let's say for example you've given 100 damage to the enemy, then you will only gain health back for only 15 points. So it is an activated type of item, meaning you need to press it in order for its ability, or for its ability to activate. It's like a skill but in an item form. So it is called Bloodshed. It will give you 100% base attack lifesteal for 4 seconds, and its cooldown is 60 seconds upon using or after you use the item. So 100% attack lifesteal, meaning if you inflict if you've inflicted 1000 damage to the enemy, then you also get 1000 lifesteal or life back to you. So that's its passive, or that its unique skills of the Bloodbath Skull. You can use Careless Speech to anti the Bloodbath Skull. So next up is the Dragon Breath Cannon. So it will gonna give you plus 50 attack and also plus 20% crit rate. So every time you will do a basic attack to the enemy, you will have a 20% of dealing a crit damage. Crit damage is a separate damage of your base attack. So let's say for example you have a 100 base attack, and if your crit rate or crit chance will activate, you will deal I think times 2. So you will deal 200 plus the 100, so you will deal 300 more damage to the enemy if your crit rate or crit chance will activate. So its unique passive is Crush. It will gonna give you plus 50% crit damage. So let's say for example again, your crit damage will gonna be 200. So you will just add up 50% to that 200, then that's the effect of the Dragon Breath. It will give plus 50% crit damage based on your base crit damage. So next up is the Moonlight Flash. It will gonna give you 35 attack, plus 20 attack speed, and plus 5% movement speed. So it is easily to understand. So it is an activated skill again. Oh, by the way, Dragon Breath is a passive skill or a passive item. So no need for you to press it in order for it to activate. So it is an active skill, the Moonlight Flash. It is called Deviate. So it gives physical damage. The physical damage that you will gonna be receiving is reduced for 4 seconds, and its cooldown is 45 seconds upon using the item. So if you activate this Moonlight Flash, then the enemy's damage that is been given to you will gonna be reduced by 30%. So let's say for example they will gonna deal 100% 100 damage, then minus that damage to 30%, then they will only deal 70 damage for you, not 100, because it will the 100% damage will gonna be reduced by 30. So that's it. Use Moonlight Flash if you're like a aggressive killer or aggressive assassin. Moonlight Flash is very good for you. Then next up is the Thunder Peel. So it will give you 10% crit rate and 55 plus attack speed. So you can partner the Thunder Peel with Dragon Breath in order for you to get a 25% crit rate. So Thunder Peel is also a unique, it also a passive item, no, meaning you don't need to press it. So its special effect is every time you deal a basic attack to the enemy, you will have a 30% chance in dealing magical damage, and that magical damage can bounce to any enemies, from minions to heroes to and a jungler or jungle monster. So it will then bounce to 3 different targets. So let's say for example you're in a clash and then you are attacking 4 heroes, then all of that 4 heroes will gonna be hit by that 30% chance of magical damage. So that's the Thunder Peel for you. It is very good if you use this to farm or in clashes. Yeah, if you use this to clash with multiple enemy heroes. So it is very good. So next up will gonna be the Contempt Gemini. So it will gonna give you plus 25 attack, plus 20 attack speed, plus 250 max HP, and plus 5% movement speed. So I think Contempt Gemini is very good to heroes that their skills is also based on how much HP they have, or the damage of their skills is depend on how much HP they have. Like for example Skull Hunter. So Contempt Gemini is also a passive item. So its effects is it will gonna reduce the enemy's movement speed by 20% for 3 seconds. Now if you will gonna hit the enemy 3 times by basic attack or by the effect of Contempt Gemini, they will gonna have a 99%, or the Contempt Gemini will gonna deal 99% slow down to the enemy for only 1 second, and the cooldown of this effect is also 5 seconds. Even though it is not a active item, it still has a cooldown because it will gonna be super duper OP if this item doesn't have any cooldown. So say for example you build Contempt Gemini, and then you build Thunder Peel, and then you build Moonlight Flash, so you will have a high attack speed. So you will just gonna proc every time, or you will just gonna activate always this passive, in which if you hit the enemy 3 times in a row, it will gonna trigger 99% slowdown. So it will gonna be super broken item. So I think this cooldown is very you're very right, or very, yeah, it is very put in the right place, the cooldown, even though it is passive item. So next up is, why is my game lagging now? My game lagging, okay. Next up is, again, Contempt Gemini is very good to heroes that has a high attack speed, or if you want to build a attack speed build, then go for Contempt Gemini if you're a melee heroes or a long range hero. It depends, because its passive is very very nice. Next up is the Rampage Dust. So it will gonna give you plus attacks, plus 25 attack, plus 15 attack speed, and then plus 10% base attack lifesteal. So it is very good to partner with Bloodbath Skull and Rampage Dust. So again, it is a passive item, and its passive item is called Mania. So you will gonna deal a additional pure damage that is equal to the enemy's hero 3.5% HP value. So it also deals 15 points damage at the minimum. So minimum damage, or the minimum damage of this item or its unique ability is 15 points. Now that 15 points will increase depending upon the enemy's HP. So this item is very good to use against tanky heroes or some tanky heroes, because it will gonna deal pure damage. Pure damage will gonna neglect shields or any armor or any health base. So pure damage is very very good. For me, I think Rampage Dust is very good for marksmen or for those heroes that will deal crit damage or high damage. So it will gonna deal pure damage. It will gonna neglect shields and tanky items. So go for this build if you want to shut down, or if you want to go against heroes that has a very very tanky build. So go for Rampage Dust. Then our last activated item, there are only 3 activated items in the physical or attack categories, is the Breath of the Blast. It will gonna give you plus 25 attack and plus 45 attack speed. Now its active or its unique passive, again it is activated, you need to press this, is called Concentration. It will gonna increase the range of your hero by 100 yards for 4 seconds, and it has a cooldown for 90 seconds upon its usage. Now this, take note, this item will only effect on range heroes. It will not gonna give effect to melee heroes. So Igor's Ranger, Dwarven Sniper, or that new hero, I forgot the name. You can use this Breath of Blast, but for those melee heroes, no. So let's say for example, the minimum range of Igor's Ranger is this. Just for example, okay, I don't know the exact range of Igor's Ranger. So Igor's Ranger, for example, have a range of, let's say, 100 yards also. So if you activate Breath of the Blast, so that base 100 yards of range will gonna be 200, because we add up the effect of the Breath of the Blast. So that will gonna be goods. That will gonna be GG. Igor's Ranger cannot be seen by the map, but you can still deal damage to the enemy. So that is very very scary. The Breath of the Blast. Next up is the Lunar Eclipse. So this one has the this one has many effects or many plus bonuses to it. So Lunar Eclipse, it will gonna give you plus 15 attack, plus 20 attack speed, plus 300 max HP, plus 5% cooldown reduction, and plus 5% movement speed. Now, cooldown reduction meaning your skill will gonna load up or cooldown as faster than its usual cooldown. So let's say for example, your first skill will gonna cooldown 5 seconds, then you will just gonna minus that 5 seconds with 5%. So it will gonna become 4.5. From 5-second cooldown, it will gonna become 4.5 cooldown. So it's much more faster and quicker than its base cooldown. So its unique passive is called the Blade of Eclipse. It will gonna reduce the enemy's mana by also dealing basic attack damage to them. So this one is very good against heroes that usually use magic damage or mages, because they usually use mana, a lot of mana. So if that enemy heroes has a very very strong mage, then go for this build, because you can easily decrease the mana of that hero. And also mage heroes tend to use more mana, but they have a higher magic damage. So you go for the Lunar Eclipse. You can use this to anti heroes like Thunder Trace, which is very OP now in the lower ranks. So again, by dealing base attack damage to the enemies, you will decrease their mana by depending on the levels. So I think it's plus 25 in the level 2. Yeah. So I think that's it. Every time you hit a enemy, they will decrease. Decrease. You will decrease their mana by 25 points. So that's very nice. And build it with attack speed, then you can basically make the enemy's mana from 1000 to 0 in just within 2 seconds or 3 seconds. So that is very nice. So second to the last is the Broken Sacred Sword. It will gonna give you plus 50 attack and plus 10 cooldown reduction. Its unique passive or its special effects is called the Judgment. It will gonna deal 150 magical damage onto the heroes that has less than 20% HP. Now if it were me, I will not gonna use this item, Broken Sacred Sword, not unless if it is on the late game or my damage is very high and my hero has a very high damage, because its condition is very hard to get, because you need 20% HP in order for you to deal 150 magical damage. But in the late game, this Broken Sacred Sword is very nice. But in the early, don't prioritize in building it. So that's my tip. And then the last one will gonna be the Sacred Sword. So it will gonna give 85 attack and then plus 85 attack and plus 10% cooldown reduction. Now its unique passive is called the Valor or Valor. Now this one is kind of long, but I'm gonna make it short and concise as much as possible. Now its unique passive is it has a 5 energy or 5 stacks. Initially, after you bought it fresh from the market, you will have a 5 stacks or 5 energy initial. Now this 5 stacks or this 5 energy will gonna give you a plus 10 attack damage. So 10 times 5, meaning you have 50 plus attack damage upon buying this thing. Now you can stack up this. You can stack up until 10 stacks. So 10 plus 10, you will have a 100. And 10 times 10, you will have a 100 plus attack damage plus the 85 bonus is you will have a 185 attack damage from the Sacred Sword. Now the only catch is if you will gonna die, then your stack will gonna reduce by 30. So let's say for example you have 5 stack, you've died, it will gonna become 2 stack only, and it will gonna only deal 20 plus attack. Now if you every time you kill one enemy hero, you will get a 2 stacks or 2 energy, and then every time you get assist, you will get a 1 energy. So this one is very good if you are a long range, or if you know how to manage your hero, or you tend to die on enemy clashes and you have a very good sense of the clashes or mechanics to the game, because this will gonna be a very rewarding item if you die less rather than you will die frequently. So if you're in a spot in where you die frequently, then just sell your Sacred Sword. It is not worth it. So just sell your Sacred Sword and go for much more impactful items like Careless Speech, or like Dragon Breath, or like this Contempt Gemini. So yeah, that's it. Use this one if you feel like you will die less, or you are up in the lead, or you're in the late game and you're up in the lead. So I think that's it. And I think my most favorite item is Contempt Gemini. This one is very broken. If you build a attack speed, it is very broken. So I think yeah, that's it. I hope you've learned something. Next video we're gonna be talking about the ability, the depth, and the flashes. So I think that's it for today's video. I hope you've learned something. If you have any questions, please comment down below, and please don't forget to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. And that's it. Buyers, Johnny. Wee.